Hello YouTube. Haven't seen you in a while. I have been doing other things. I got carried away in school and focused on that, and that was fun. Improved grades a lot, and I'm happy and proud of myself for that. I've also, within the past 2 months, have started frequenting this server again. It's OR. I don't think I've actually ever mentioned OR. I've mentioned the RDF, but since that video, the RDF has gone down in shambles and it's gone. Or pretty much acts as, at least for me, the replacement of the RDF. So, let's jump into what we are going to be talking about with binary. So, yeah. Okay. Binary. What is it? What makes it special? Okay. The thing about binary and the way it's used in computation is pretty interesting. In computation, there's only 2 states of wires. And, in fact, I can demonstrate this by simply saying, if a redstone wire is on, then it is true. If the redstone wire is off, it is false. Same thing with electricity and CPUs. If the electricity flows through a line, if it flows through a line, it is true. If it doesn't flow through that line, it is false. This is used in computation because we can only use electricity as of yet to say on and off. However, there are still counting systems for base 2, and there are still counting systems for base 1. And because of the counting system of base 2, we can pretty much compute anything. So, now let's talk about how this relates to the other bases. Pretty much, in all counting systems, base 2 has 2 characters. There's 0, then there's a 1, and that's the only 2 characters you can have. Base 3 would have a 0, a 1, and a 2, and you can't have a 4. Same as with base 2, you can't have a 2 here. Now the thing is, with base 10, you can go from 0 to 9. Just 0 to 9 includes 10 characters. So saying 11, you can't say that in one unit. If you're talking duodecimal, which is base 12, you can say that by saying X. However, we can't. We can't do that. So instead, we will stick with binary. So what happens if a unit goes further than what, it can provide? You can't put a 2 here. So what do? Simply, you carry it. Instead of putting a 2 here, you simply carry it here. Let's have a 1. Now you carry the 1 again here, and you keep counting. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now we can represent 4 simply by carrying it again. Whoops, forgot to paste. And then we have 4. Keep carrying it again, and we will get 5. Now this works, quite frankly, really well. These are in the 2nd unit. These are in the 3rd unit. Those are in the 4th unit. Let me just go ahead and keep counting until we get up to 7. Okay. Whoops. Whatever. Ignore that. Actually, I'm not going to ignore that. I'm going to fix that, because I do not like sloppy work. There we go. How's that? Okay. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Quite frankly, with counting and in math, all of these represent the same thing. This being 5, this number being 5, still equals 5 in base 10. Still equals all these other numbers which represent 5. Now, that's quite interesting, because you're thinking, well, with all these other bases, all computation must be different. No, well, actually no. All computation is the same. It pretty much is the same. The different bases are just different ways of representing numbers. The basics behind it is the same, though. The basics behind multiplication, the basics behind addition, the basics behind subtraction, division, all these other things are still the same. It's just implementation is different. So the thing that makes this binary special is its application. It's used easily. For instance, I've made a mechanical adder using Legos before, which clockwise meant 1 and counterclockwise meant 0. And just because of that, and due to different, switches of the motors, I can represent different numbers. And it can compute that using gears, levers, and mechanics, pretty much. Now, since in binary we call this a bit, this one line is a bit, this is a bit, this is a bit. Now, this we would call the least significant bit, or the LSB. LSB is properly done on the right. I've seen a lot of times where it goes from the left to the right. However, it should properly go from the right to the left. Just like the number 200. You don't say 2, 0, 0. You say 2, 0, 0. That applies to all the other bases. Since we already counted up to 7 down there, we are simply, with this, going to say that this is the MSB, or the most significant bit. And this is basic binary. Another way I've seen people understand binary, however, I don't like this way because it teaches one to understand how to translate in a way to the decimal system and then back to binary after they did the calculations in their head, is assigning each unit a variable. This is 1, it represents 1. If this line is on, it represents 1. If this is on, it represents 2. If this is on, it represents 4. And if this, and this, and this, and this, and it keeps going to 8, 16, 32, and 64, and so on. I just don't like this way of teaching because it doesn't teach the basics behind it. Counting in binary, addition in binary are all really simple. It's actually, if you think about it, easier, much, much easier than counting and subtracting in base 10. It's insanely easier because all you have to deal with is 1 and 1 and comparing those. Zeros, don't compare them. 1, compare them. Pretty much how it works. If you ever have a question about this or about any of what I've said in the video, please comment about it. Tell me what I should, tell me what you would like to know. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. And if you ever have more than a question, you can come to or www.openredstone.org, which is this server, and you can ask me on there. I'll most likely be on over the summer every now and then. So if you hop on, chances are you're going to see me there. Now, this has been Nixter258 with a basic binary tutorial, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.